You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White Sports fans, we are back together with another video. And ever since 2022, roughly, we have been covering the transgender invasion of women's sports. But in 2025, women have been fighting back. Are you familiar with the A.B. Hernandez situation, Rhodes? That was the track and field player in the spring, but now he's playing women's volleyball in high school. That team got 10 forfeits. The women said, "Nah, we're not going to play." 10 forfeits that we actually know of.
Wow.
So
Good.
women are actually fighting back.
Good for them. They said, we're not going out there and getting our eye punched out.
Exactly.
Which we've seen happen, by the way, in Vermont. Yeah.
So now the women are actually fighting back. Now, in Minnesota, another blue state, transgenders are allowed to invade women's sports. And I believe I've said this in other videos. Yeah, President Trump has his executive order. Title IX is there. But these leftist men, they're not going to stop. They don't care. They're not going to stop. They're going to allow the trans invasion to continue. This is why it's so important. This actually happened in California. The local level is so much more important than even a state level. Because you got like 16 school districts in California that have actually banned transgenders. Yeah. Even though California let them run amok.
Right.
But in Minnesota, this woman, 30 years in hockey, said, "I'm done. I'm quitting," because of the transgender invasion that's been going on in our sport. Look at this right here. Minnesota women's hockey player quits after men allowed to compete in league. Yeah. A veteran women's hockey player is hanging up her skates after nearly 3 decades, stating that transgender inclusion has been made a priority above safety and fairness. Rachel Stoneberg, 42, who has been in the Women's Hockey Association of Minnesota, WHAM for short, for 20 years, formerly played for the University of St. Thomas. She penned a letter on October 10th to WHAM entitled "Dear Hockey, Goodbye," which was recently shared on social media. She has been playing hockey since the 7th grade through college and in the adult league. This past year, she did not know that she shared a locker room with a biological male. She didn't even know.
Wow.
WHAM leaders dismissed concerns for teammates. USA Hockey and Minnesota Hockey did not respond either. Rose, they knew that was a male.
Of course
they knew it. This was a cover-up, just like the Blair Fleming situation in California. The girls didn't know. Now, I don't know if she changed naked in front of that man. Chances are probably so. Like me and you, Rhodes, we go to gyms, right?
Yeah, sure.
We work out, go to locker room. There's actually a sign in my gym that says, "No photos in the locker room." Why? Well, men are showering. You're going to see naked men in there. I mean, it is what it is. It's a locker room.
Right.
Privacy issue. If you actually put a man in a women's locker room, if they know you're a man, they're not going to want to change in there. But in this case, she didn't even know a man was in her locker room.
I mean, look, they arrest people for filming women and people changing their clothes, undressing, bathrooms, et cetera, et cetera. It's a criminal offense. Okay? I mean, that's a thing. or used to be anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the same kind of thing. You're allowing something to go on without the people that are in the room knowing the full story, having the full facts. And that's supposed to be a safe space to undress, etc. And something's going on without their knowledge.
Yeah.
And again, we're allowing things that would have been like a criminal issue, prosecutable at one time, to just where a blind eye is being turned if you're a leftist politician at this point.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
This is part of what she wrote right here. It says, quote, "I'm left to believe they do not care about my safety or the sanity of the sport," she wrote. "If you want to say you're a girl, go ahead. But you can't force me to say it or believe it. And you can't ask me to share my restrooms, my locker rooms, or my sheet of ice. That would be infringing on my rights," she added. She wrote that she feels bad for her two daughters and other students who, quote, "have to decide between competing in the sports they love and standing up for what's right." Stonebird ended with a call for others to act, stand up, speak up. We have to do better for our daughters. Wow. This comes as former teammate of Stonebird's also quit Wham earlier this year over the same policy. Wow. That I did not know that. And it talks about Gavin Newsom here signing a youth sports for all bill to study inequality in youth athletics. What are you talking about?
Who knows? I mean, the guy's a lunatic. God, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what's so wild about all this? You know, Democrats used to be the supposed champion of women's rights. Do you notice how they've taken women's rights and just poured gas on it and lit it on fire? They don't care anymore.
No,
they don't care about women at all anymore.
Newsflash. They're about men's rights.
Yeah.
They're about men's rights. That's the way it is. They're about men's rights. Now, they're not going to say it because they're going to tell you, hey, a man can get pregnant. Let me know when it actually happens. I'll bet my house on it that he can't get pregnant.
Right.
It makes absolutely no sense, man. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is what some people have voted for. You know,
unfortunately,
we've normalized things that would have been not only either criminal but also mentally certifiable at one time.
Yeah,
and these things have been normalized. Part of it is the destruction of the asylum system that we used to have in place. And something's got to give with that at some point. But then how do you redirect it back in the other direction? You know, at some point, they're going to have to make certain things something subject to, you know, a mental faculties test. You know, I don't know how we get it reined back in at this point. That's going to be the challenge. How do you, if you get a system set up like we used to have, how do you get it reined back in? How do you get it focused back in another direction? You got to make some things criminal. You do, from a legal standpoint, a legality standpoint.
It should be criminal to have a man in a women's locker room. It should be criminal.
That's pretty easy. That's pretty baseline.
It sounds like common sense, but
sure.
You got a lot of people that want to down that hill, man. Even though I believe this is like a 95-5 issue. But those 5%, man, they're pretty loud, being on the wrong side of things.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, I think it's probably larger than a 5% issue, just because I think you've got a certain amount of Democrats that don't agree with this, but will vote in favor of it because they hate the right so much. So
Martina Navratilova. Prime example.
exactly.
She cannot stand the transgender women's sports, but she keeps voting for it by default.
Exactly. Perfect example. Yeah.
Which means, hey, you keep voting Democrat, they don't have to listen to you. They got your vote.
And she was all about women's rights. And she's been very critical of this, but you're voting on the wrong side of the aisle.
But she's completely Trump deranged too. So she's between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly.
So anything else, Rhodes?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Well, there you have it, man. Another one quits. Good. I think we're going to win this thing. I really do. Peace. We're out.
Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.